now about set to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up. And we're going to get a look at Kansas City on offense. Right now we get a look at Alex Smith, who in Week 12 led scoring drives the final 3 times the Chiefs had the ball against that Broncos D, including a touchdown to force OT.
And that's what makes a quarterback, Brandon. Being able to bring your team into scoring position, pay it off when your team absolutely needs it. And he did it late in the game and helped them win a big, big one on the road against Denver.
It's the Princeton man. This is Spencer Ware. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On the run, it's Ware. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. A shotgun snap for Smith. He hits West underneath. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 4 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They'll sneak it with Smith. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Spencer Ware, 40 yards. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They come out here in the I. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
On second down, Wilson steps away to his left, and he'll avoid the tackle there. Sudden here, it's third down.
But one thing that's confirmed is that Russell Wilson knows how to elude pressure, and he finds openings to throw the ball, and he does the same thing in running it. He lost about 300 yards from last season in his rushing total, but I think that's a good thing. People respect his running ability so much, it's opening up pass lanes for his team.
He finds his man, Baldwin, and a gain there of 11 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. So second and 10 here. Second and 10 now. Wilson shakes off the sag. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The 5-time Pro Bowler, Tom Mahali. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see. Third and long. It's Wilson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Tom Mahali in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So on fourth down, here's the Canadian-born punter, John Ryan, to kick it away for Seattle. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
On the ground, this is Ware. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Defense showing blitz. They run again with Ware. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-0 is our score. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. To return, this is Doug Baldwin. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Charles, this Chiefs defense came up big when they needed to against Denver. Had the big stop in overtime. A free kick return touchdown, a safety. They had played an integral role.
And they got Justin Houston back, and they've been looking forward to that for a long time. It was his 2nd game back since the ACL surgery that he had last season. But, boy, what a force he is, because, remember, D Ford stepped up this year and really took some of the pressure off of the loss of Justin Houston. Justin Houston is back and letting everyone know he can handle his business from here on out.
No gain, and it's 2nd down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He hits Baldwin right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Week 12 for Baldwin, playing back in his home state. He's from the Pensacola area. 7 catches, but just 34 yards.
And that's unusual for him because his run after catch ability helps separate him from other receivers, because he can catch it, make a move, run through traffic because he's a strong guy. So when you hold him to 34 yards on 7 catches, you're doing something right on defense.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A group of Chiefs there to make the stop that time.
The emergence of Thomas Rawls out of Central Michigan, chalk one up for the scouting department of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year averaged 5.6 yards per attempt. Most of the NFL, of course, then he had that nasty ankle injury.
Well, he's back healthy and looking like the Thomas Rawls we saw in 2015.
His throw incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson buying time to his left. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on third down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the first down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
Another run, but this time it's Rawls. And able to work his way down to the 16. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. The first carry now for Alex Collins. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner into the second quarter, but I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Play on this long drive for the offense. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So on 4th down, on comes Stephen Hauschka to try and get the Seahawks 3. And Hauschka's kick is good. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again.
Personal foul. Roughing a kicker. Defense.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense. They come out here in the eye. First down and goal to go from the 7. A running play for Rawls. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And now it's 2nd and goal. Again, it's Rawls. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The NFL sack leader from 2014, Justin Houston. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And Hauschka's kick is good. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You worked so hard to hold him to a 3-point kick. Now you give him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
Final play of the half. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin as time expires in the first half. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of game.
Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this 3rd quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down following the run. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. On 2nd down, Wilson throwing the slant pattern here complete. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They come out here in the eye. First down, this is Rawls. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flush to his right, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Justin Houston in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he'd been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. They're able to locate Wilson. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And that catch there by Luke Wilson goes for a first down, and he's really developed and come on. Now, remember, Jimmy Graham, who was expected to be the key tight end for Russell Wilson, he was hurt most of 2015. Luke Wilson really jumped his game up.
Another pistol look here. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman, certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Room here to run. The 20. First possession of the third quarter, and interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard so.
They're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. To throw on second down is Smith. And Hill with it over the middle. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
A really nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They run it here. Where? It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Spencer Ware, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now Wilson on second down. Dancing to his left. And he'll get nothing out of that one.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 19. And it'll give the Seahawks a first down.
They ran that one well. And not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
On 1st and goal, Collins. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're back now in KC. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. That's caught at the 2. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Luke Wilson, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. They'll come out in the pistol. Smith on 1st down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They come out here in the I. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Still 2nd down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Smith will turn and give this to his fullback, Sherman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
all you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful.
An 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On second down, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Smith. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for KC. 45 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll run now with Ware. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Ataba Rubin makes the stop.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Play clock winding down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And able to find Conley. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be driven. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. Now it's Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And it's 4th down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this one's not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
On 2nd down, Rawls. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. And the offense moving quickly to the line. He's back to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. There he goes left side. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs defense, they get set and ready to do battle again. They're looking for one final stop here, put this game on ice. What's the message from the defensive coordinator here?
Don't overthink it. You know what you have to do. Let's get this game over with and get to the locker room.
Yeah, that's the key, right? Just get it over quickly. They don't want to deal with any extra time.
You don't want any extra time. You don't want to do something out of the ordinary that gives them an opportunity and hope. Go out there and play the way you know how.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Wilson to throw. It's caught. Baldwin. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Now Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take this one down to the 20-yard line. They'll get 19 yards there. And the Seahawks are going to have a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Throwing now is Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Here's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 3. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Ramik Wilson, no relation. In there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Still 7 minutes.
One last shot for Wilson. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score. Well, after another passing touchdown, I don't think it'd be an understatement to say that he's in the zone, and I believe he likes it.
The kick up and good, but they remain a field goal short as they wind up dropping this one by 3. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah.